Good morning. I know it's very early in the morning, but good morning to each and every one of you here on the Willie Bragg Show. I'm Willie Bragg, your host. First of all, I want to say good morning right back to Daniel Berry's Sports Highlights. How are you doing today, my friend? Um, 2024, you hear the expression when it comes to every 4 years. This is going to be the most important election of our lifetime. Not really. I mean, it's another election. It's another election. Um, that's all I ever hear from people about the important. I'm so tired. I'm so over it. About the most important election of my lifetime. I do take voting seriously, but that's a phrase that really irks me a lot. So, I look at it as another election. But what is actually unusual about this election cycle, it's not the fact that I'm going to vote third party, because I normally vote third party. I've been um, mostly consistent, consistent over the years. I did a kind of an insight. I used to say, well, maybe this Democrat is okay. I don't do that anymore. It's kind of like it's independent all the way for me. You got to realize, and I think my audience realized, that the two-party system is useless, done for. There's no reason to vote for anybody within the two-party system for all kinds of reasons. One, both Democrats and Republicans are capitalist parties, and I am anti-capitalist. I don't believe in capitalism. I've seen what capitalism has done to the United States, and it's not what people think. Some people say capitalism does great things. Capitalism causes income inequality, misery. It harms our environment, and it causes war. So, no, I don't support capitalism. I am opposed to capitalism. So, there is that. And when it comes to who to vote for president, it was always easy. I could always vote for a third party person, whether they were a write-in or on the ballot officially, what have you. Even though they wouldn't even though they wouldn't win, I needed to vote for somebody that I believe in. Eugene Debs said, I read it in 1908. He says, I rather vote for what I want and not get it than to vote for what I don't want and get it. And I think a lot of Americans have settled for, I'm going to vote for what I'm going to vote for what I don't want and get it, hoping that will be the best situation. The insanity's got to stop. What they say, insanity is repeating the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Especially if you're progressive, working within one of the two dominant parties, expecting a different result, has it just put the Democratic Party on quagmire when it comes to progressive ideas and what's needed to make our society better. So that I do want to discuss with this election, because it's going to be the most unusual presidential election in the sense that the left has many options. It's kind of by accident, but the left has options, a lot of options. I kind of wish that the left would have somebody to unite behind. Bernie, that ship has passed. He's not running again, and I'm not so sure I would be keen on supporting him if he were to try a third run this time. So, there's always the go-to third parties. So, okay. I kind of wanted to start it in this order because of what I find in my observations about these candidates. So I'll start from the get-go. I will not vote for Donald Trump. That's a given. And I will not vote for Joe Biden. That is also a given. Donald Trump, he's cartoonish, but he flirts too much around with fascist themes. Joe Biden, he promised a few things that came out of the Bernie platform in 2020 and did not deliver from it. So They're not an option. Neither, Donald Trump nor Joe Biden could ever be a serious option for me. They're totally out. There's no way I would consider voting for either one of them. Well, if you go and don't vote for one, and you go reject both of them, the candidate you don't want, even more so, you're going to go and you're just going to go and have it so that Trump can win the elections. No, 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 no. I live in North Carolina. North Carolina is very red, for starters. And here's the thing. Again, I'm going to quote Eugene Debs. I'd rather vote for what I want and not get it than to vote for what I don't want and get it. So, and then there's an independent option called Robert F. Kennedy. When I first found out that Robert F. Kennedy was running, I guess about a year ago when he announced, what made him appealing was that he said he's a First Amendment absolutist, that he's anti-war, he's in favor of Julian Assange and Ed Snowden being pardoned and released and freed, and that he basically wants to repeal the Espionage Act of 1917. It was, he was talking about this sort of thing. Now on the vax stuff, I don't really care. I mean, people's got their perspectives. I am sort of in the middle when it comes to vax. I don't believe it should be mandated, but I do believe in the value of it. But I don't believe it should be mandated by law. And I think that the approach is to give people health care for free whenever they need it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give people health care for free. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Vax, you do you. You have a right to do whatever you want to do. I am vax and I'm boosted, but I don't give a damn if somebody next to me is vax or boosted or not vax and boosted. What I am concerned about is, will they be able to have access to health care without them going bankrupt? And I don't care who you are. So Robert Kennedy, I can't support him because one, he opposed Medicare for all. When he opposed Medicare for all and gave a politician-y answer, that was a no-go. Then I found out that he chose Bill Clinton over Bernie Sanders in 2016 and Joe Biden over Bernie Sanders in 2020. That's a real big sore issue for me too. Again, that's a strike. I knew or could make the assumption that he was pro-Israel. And if he would have just say, in a casual setting, the politician, Israel's got a right to defend themselves, or whatever, that politician-y answer you expect, it would have been like, well, he's no different from the other candidates in that regard. But when it came to defending Israel, he went overkill and went out of his way and became very loud about it. And to the point where he's letting you know that he is going to go and be a Benjamin Netanyahu cocksucker. And I was like, well then, no, can't do that. And then, he's supporting censorship on campus, silencing pro-Palestinian protesters and that sort of thing. So it was just kind of like, nah, I'll give it a giant pass. No Robert F. Kennedy. I do feel sorry for him in the sense that he was rigged in the primaries in 2022, 2023, 2024. This time, I don't know if he ran in 2022, but this presidential election cycle, obviously, he was Bernie Sanders, just as Marianne Williamson's being Bernie Sanders, and just as Dean Phillips is being Bernie Sanders, and just as Cenk Uygur is being Bernie Sanders. Anything that's to the mildest and slimmest of left of Joe Biden, low bar to be to the left. Whatever. I don't support the two-party system, but they're being rigged, and there's something to be said about that. So, next, I would say, let's talk about the Libertarian Party for a moment. I don't know who the presidential candidate is going to be for the Libertarian Party, but here's the thing. I don't have a problem with libertarians. I just would not vote for. I'm just not prepared to vote for them on the basis of their fanatical devotion to the so-called free enterprise system. I just don't. Do I consider them like the worst people in the world? Well, as long as they're talking about legalizing marijuana, and as long as they're opposing war and the military-industrial complex, and they're fighting for free speech, I'm with them on those things, and they are principled in that regard. They're principled in their opposition toward my economics, and I just respectfully disagree with those who are, reasonable within the libertarian movement. Now, somebody who's just another right winger, just wants to tell the socialists to go fuck themselves. Well, those kind of libertarians I'm not for at all. But as I said, I got no beef with Ron Paul and all of that. I'm just not an economic libertarian. I don't believe in I'm an anti-capitalist, so I can't support the Libertarian Party in that regard. I can work with them on anti-war projects of that nature, but that's about as far as it goes. Or areas pertaining to civil liberties, or the drug war, or the surveillance state. These are things where the libertarians and the left can overlap easily. I'm willing to work with them. It's just electorally, I can't. I can't. I mean, especially for president, I can't. So, um, even though I did vote for Gary Johnson in 2012, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney were the other options, and they were both just too right wing, and so yeah, I did justify a vote for Gary Johnson by saying, well, he opposed capital punishment. He said, and this is before same sex marriage was legal. He was in favor of same sex marriage being legalized. This sort of thing. He was in favor of pot being legalized. So I was like, okay, I can go and make a justification. He's opposed to war. I can make a justification to make a left-wing case for voting for Gary Johnson. But, no harm, no foul, no harm, as the saying goes. So let's talk about the candidate right now, Cornel West. He was the original presidential candidate for the Movement for a People's Party. Then he decided to run as a Green, and now he's running as an independent. I like Cornel West. I still like Cornel West, although he's made some statements lately that's very wishy-washy, and I do think that people like Peter Dow destroyed his campaign. But he's going to have trouble with ballot access across the country that he wouldn't have with the Green Party. With the Green Party, say what you will about the Green Party, they are the largest independent party outside the Democratic Party on the left that has ballot access available. And I think it's very foolish for Cornel West to say, well, I'm going to go run as an independent instead. I would rather for him to stay in the Movement for a People's Party than for him to run as an independent, because you can't gain tractions with it. Yeah, and who you're going to be competing? You're going to be competing for votes for Robert Kennedy. There are people still on the left that are willing to go vote for Robert Kennedy in spite of some relatively bad positions he says and everything. So is he going to be on the ballot in North Carolina, Cornel West? I don't know. So I would love to vote for Cornel West. I would love to vote for Cornel West. I just don't know if I'll be able to, in fact, vote for him, because he's likely not to be on the ballot in North Carolina in this election cycle, in the year 2024. So let's talk about Jill Stein. Now, I'm no stranger to voting for Jill Stein. I voted for her in 2016. I wanted to vote for her in 2012, but she was not on the ballot in any capacity in North Carolina. I wanted to vote. I went and did a write-in in 2016 for her, because there was no way in hell I was going to vote for Donald Trump, and there was no way in hell I was going to go vote for Bill Clinton. And I lost a lot of friends over my vote for Jill Stein. I don't care. I will do it again. I have said this before. I would do it again without any hesitation. Vote for Jill Stein for president. And if she's on the ballot, the Green Party's on the ballot, so she's likely to get the nomination at this point. And if she is on the ballot, and the other candidates, including Cornel West, are not, I would be prepared to vote for her. And like Cornel West, the policies and ideas that she advocates are relatively similar. The Medicare for all and jobs program and opposition to these neocon wars and the legalization of marijuana and all the good things that left are in favor of. She's got a relatively good, solid platform. So, as I said, she's on the ballot and the others are not. I'm prepared to vote for her. Now, if let's talk about Claudia Dela Cruz. Whereas there's a little, I don't know that much about the PSL. I know some people who are with them. They seem very fine people. I know the basic history that the PSL split off from the Workers' World Party. I have no clue as to why. I've asked people, and a lot of people, whether they're members or familiar with them, for some reason, I could never really get a concrete answer as to why there was a split. But I listened to Claudia Dela Cruz on Bad Faith podcast with Brianna Joy Gray. And I first found out about her from my friend Jamar Jabari from the Jabari VOC podcast, who also co-hosts with Thomas Sawberry from Tommy Nation Politics. So there is that. With regard to Claudia Dela Cruz, when listening to her on the Brianna Joy Gray program, I was pretty impressed with what I heard, what she had to say. So she's definitely also an important option if for some reason for some reason Jill Stein and for some reason Cornel West are not on the ballot, but she is. I will certainly be in favor and be receptive to voting for Claudia Dela Cruz. So the next option, and it comes a little close for home, and in a good way, it comes close to home because I actually personally know this person, and that's William Stodden, who's the presidential candidate this year for the Socialist Party USA. Now, I know Bill Stodden for over 2 decades, going almost back 25 years, and just like then and now, he's significantly to my left, but he's got a good head on his shoulder, and I think that what he wants to do for our country and for society is reflective on what the Socialist Party USA platform's been since being a member of the party myself back in the 1990s, early 2000s. So, as I said, if he's on the ballot in North Carolina, likewise, I'm prepared to vote for Bill Stodden. So there you have it. We have basically 4 choices right there. We have Cornel West, who's running as an independent. We have Jill Stein, who will likely be the Green Party nominee. We have Claudia Dela Cruz, who's the PSL candidate. And we have William Stodden from the Socialist Party USA. And there are my options. And, if any of them are on the ballot, they're going to be looked at very seriously by me. If one of them is on the ballot, the other 3 aren't, yeah, they're going to get that. With those 4, one of those 4 will get my vote. If all 4 of them are on the ballot, that will be a good problem for me, but I will be in a dilemma. My point is, whoever I vote for in 2024, it will either be Cornel West or Jill Stein or Claudia Dela Cruz or William Stodden. They're going to be my choices. Nobody else outside of that would be my choice at this juncture. So I just wanted to go mention that as well. And let's go on the chat lines. And I see Rick Solis. Hey, how are you doing, Rick? I'm okay right now. Good morning to you, sir. Two parties, the two parties are two wings of the fascist imperialist bird. Very true, very true, very true. They're both very right wing. Kenny, how are you doing today, my friend? That's Kenny from Smeghead. The music that's done for the Willie Bragg Show. You can thank him for it because he provides great music. I'm a fan of the work he's done, and so I hope to see him carry on through with his career and get recognized for the due respects that he should be getting for his music. So, and I got the link down, folks. If you want to check the link down for Smeghead, check out his YouTube channel, and just great post-punk new wave revivalism, which is kind of what I am all about, when it comes to music. So he just sent a text. I will find out what the text says as soon as I get off the computer here shortly thereafter. Didn't imagine you'd be up, let alone streaming. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I had to go to work earlier, which meant I left earlier. I would have been back here a little bit, but I went to Denny's late night for dinner and all of that. And so yeah, I'll be I figured let me go ahead and get the stream out of the way because I've been wanting to talk about the 2024 presidential election. So that's what I'm doing right now. So anyway, at 5:00 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time, Jimi Sunderland and myself will be co-hosting Bragland. So I hope every one of y'all drop it by and see the show this evening. Looking forward to it. And if you haven't subscribed to the Braglands channel yet, please consider doing so. The Braglands link is down in the description box below. So please support Braglands if you can. So let's see. Let me conclude by saying, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any way you disagree with what I have to say. Share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. To subscribe here to the Willie Bragg Show here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, Facebook. Just follow me. I even thought about creating a MySpace Willie Bragg Show. Yeah, I really did. Who knows? Who knows? I can't wait till there is a pancake link for the Willie Bragg Show. Oh, when there is, my show is really going to go soaring through. Woohoo. Reject corporate media because they have nothing to offer. And let me conclude by saying free Julian Assange, free Palestine, free healthcare, and free speech. Y'all take care, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.